Living room gaming on the PC has long been riddled with compromises, and even with many ITX systems for the living room, there's still been one constant issue: the lack of accompanying peripherals. Controllers have their place, but for many users the keyboard and mouse is not only a signature of PC gaming, but also very necessary for many games. Unfortunately, actually using them when on the couch or in a chair is next to impossible, until now.
The Z9 Neo by Zalman brings all the right features on a budget, with a large windowed side panel, 5 included fans, and an excellent interior layout with super simple cable management. Get it now? Link in the description below.
Corsair's been building up their premium living room experience as of late. First up was the mini ITX PC titled Bulldog, which combines performance alongside looks that blend right into a home theatre environment, and now the accompanying keyboard and mouse combo, fittingly titled the Lapdog. As its name suggests, the Lapdog is meant to allow you to game comfortably from your lap with a keyboard and mouse. The Lapdog is available either as a bare-bones kit or bundled with the compatible K65 or K70 keyboards. Corsair's aim with this system is to provide a premium and polished unit, even if it doesn't have the innovative features like wireless functionality. Right from the exterior finish, Corsair's commitment to quality is evident, and the build is excellent, although it is to be expected considering this is coming in at a retail price of $120 for the bare-bones unit. It's not an insignificant price, but it's also not without justification. You've got 3 main sections. The top pieces are all a great looking brushed aluminum finish, which gives the Lapdog a premium feel, and it blends beautifully with the finish of the K70 which I'm using, or alternatively the K65. These are the only keyboards officially compatible with the Lapdog, so you'll have to shell out the cash for those. You can use any USB mouse however, and as you can see I've been testing this out with Corsair Sabre RGB, and using Corsair software I can sync the lighting between the keyboard and the mouse. Examining the build once more, when you remove the top covers you have the main plastic frame, and while there's a little bit of flex, it's impressively built, especially since adding the keyboard and outer frame adds rigidity. The main frame has 3 sections, one cutout for the keyboard, a long strip along the top for cable routing, and the USB hub for the keyboard and the mouse. On the hub is a strange 16-pin port, which Corsair is saying is reserved for future use. The last consideration is that you have to leave the keyboard USB pass-through unplugged, as there are only 2 USB ports on the internal hub, and the keyboard's pass-through is also blocked inside the Lapdog. It would have made sense to keep this pass-through active and accessible, so you wouldn't have to remove the mousepad to swap mice. On the exterior, we have 2 external USB ports so that you can charge your phone or plug in another peripheral. We also have USB 3 input to power the keyboard and mouse, and an AC adapter which powers the 2 other external USB ports. I would have liked to see an audio pass-through here so that you could plug a headset directly into the Lapdog. There are also these reflective surfaces with the Corsair logo, which look fantastic until you touch them and they suck up your fingerprints. The last section is the cushion, which attaches using 6 magnets on the bottom of the main unit. I did find the adhesive holding the magnets in place wasn't strong enough, and they started to stick onto the bottom instead of holding in place. When they did hold in place, they allowed for easy detachment of the 2 sections. On the top of the cushion there's a cutout for the included small tool for removing all of the Lapdog screws, as well as a little cutout to store some. On the bottom is a relatively thin but very cushioned and comfortable memory foam. This foam is curved to fit more naturally to your lap, and while it means it won't sit flat on a table, due to the removable nature you can simply take it off when using the Lapdog on a flat surface. It's a comfortable cushion and I have no real complaints about it. Now, before we get into the experience of using it, we need to take another look at the price. The $120 price tag isn't low, and when you consider that you'll have to spend another $150 on a keyboard, you're looking at upwards of $270 for this set, assuming you already have a mouse. However, just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's necessarily unreasonable, and I think that's the case for the Lapdog. You firstly have to look at what you're paying for. For the $120 you're paying for that plastic frame and aluminium shell and mousepad, the USB 3 powered hub and the 5-meter USB 3 cable as well as bundled power. To top this off, you've got the magnetic foam cushion on the bottom. When you factor in the costs with the R&D and the polish of the experience, you can start to see where the price is coming from, and for what you get, it starts to make more sense. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the right product though. While it's understandable why it costs so much, it's also overkill for many people. While aluminium top plates are nice, and the extra USB ports are great, for many people they would have preferred knocking off some of that price. It's a premium product, so understandably it does come with that premium price. But enough about the price. Is the experience good enough to even justify what it's aiming for? So let's go about setting this thing up. The first step is to remove both the top cover, the cover plate for the K65 and the mousepad. You then slip the K70 in and plug it in along with your mouse of choice. You can tie down the cables in the 2 cable loops using the included zip ties. I'd prefer for Corsair to include reusable Velcro wraps instead, as I'd expect many people will be taking the board and the mouse in and out. You can then grab out the included 5-meter cable for connecting the lapdog to the PC and connect it to a USB port on the PC as well as the AC power. It's then just a matter of reassembling the lapdog and playing some games with it. The experience using the lapdog can be summed up pretty simply, you don't notice it. And that's the goal of a product like this. I can game away without having to think about how the keyboard or the mouse is sitting, and it just doesn't get in the way of fluid gameplay. I didn't realise how much fun it could be to just relax on the couch and play some Civ 5 or Shadow of Mordor for hours on end. It really brings a new experience to gaming, and I've got to say I really enjoyed it. For me, the experience of on-the-couch gaming is awesome, and the lapdog allows for that to happen seamlessly without making compromises on my peripherals. When paired up with a mini ITX gaming rig, Steam's Big Picture mode, or Nvidia's Game Stream, it can be superlative. However, that's not to say that the lapdog is the perfect product and everyone should go out and buy it right now. There are certainly some things to take note of. First up is the mousepad. This is a mixed bag for me since Corsair has opted for a medium-sized hardpad surface. On one hand, it's very solid and easy to clean, which is awesome, and tracking is great. However, the surface itself is quite fast compared to a cloth pad, and your mouse will glide at a quicker pace, so there'll be some time required to get used to playing on the lapdog. Because the surface encourages quicker mouse movements, I found that when I didn't have my hand placed on the mouse, it would simply slide off, unless it hit either the side or bottom barriers. While I wouldn't say a more competitive shooter like CSGO is really suited for the living room, if you're playing with a medium or high sensitivity, the lapdog will do fine, as you can use your mouse of choice. The only thing to note is that if you're a low sensitivity gamer, the mousepad's physical area might be a little small, and because it's much faster than a regular cloth pad, you may have to tweak your sensitivity. The other issue regarding the mouse is the cutouts where the cable exit. The cable runs directly out without any rubber grommets, which means it can rub against the sharpish edge of the mousepad. I really would have liked to see a smaller hole with some sort of rubber grommet for the cable exit. The last complaint is regarding to the keyboard's ergonomics. Usually when a keyboard is being used at the desk, you either rest your wrists on a included keyboard wrist rest or on the desk, if not both. However, there isn't any wrist support on the lapdog, making it feel strange and a little unnatural to use at first. I adjusted over time, but I think it would have been cool to see part of the top cable management portion be moved to the bottom and that space allocated as a wrist rest. Simply put, your wrists get bent at a slightly unnatural angle due to the positioning of your arms relative to the keyboard. The one other big thing would have been wireless. Now, this isn't a small task by any means, as evidenced by the continual critique levelled at most wireless peripherals, but that would have really made the lapdog stand out. Wireless tech has been making big leaps as of late, and companies like Logitech have shown minimal lag is possible with products like the G900 gaming mouse. Hopefully at some point, Corsair makes attempts at a wireless lapdog or even an upgrade kit for the current one, maybe using that lonely 16-pin connection. Only time will tell. And that brings us to the conclusion. This is a pretty simple one, as the lapdog does almost everything right. It's not perfect, but for a first generation product it's damn close, and you have to applaud Corsair for seeing an uncatered for market and providing such a great product. It has its minor flaws and the keyboards are exclusive to Corsair, but providing you can get past that and you can splash the cash, it's really hard to not recommend the Corsair Lapdog. So thank you for watching everyone. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to leave a like and comment if you have any questions or feedback. I'm Aiden with HardwareCanucks, subscribe for more similar content, and we'll see you in